Okay, so this is the Nintendo Bros podcast, and Derek here.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm Peter, and we just got finished playing some of the new Mario Kart 8 DLC, so we're going to talk about that. What was your experience with Mario Kart 8, Derek?
As a whole, I got it day one. I've always been a big Mario Kart fan, and I'm loving the DLC. I'm loving the whole game. It's probably my most played Wii U game so far.
I can verify that it's my most played. You can go to stats and see. I put over. I'm not going to actually reveal how many hours I put in.
Hundreds.
Not hundreds, but maybe 100 singular.
yeah. It's a big game. Me and my friends play together. So.
Yeah. So they announced the game came out last May, and then last summer they announced DLC 2 packs. And I take it you bought both packs. You obviously bought both packs. We just played it. So let's talk about the first before we jump into the second DLC. We'll talk about the first batch of DLC, and just so our listeners know, in the background here, we're actually playing some videos of that we recorded of us just playing online from Mario Kart 8 just now. So you can see how amazing I am as Waluigi. I was on fire. Derek's the Luigi there named Derek who gets destroyed.
I won a few of them.
Yeah, well, I'm not showing the ones that you won. So anyways, so tell me about what did you think about the first batch of DLC?
I was a big fan. I mean, I'm a big fan. Every level is totally different, unique. Even the old levels that they brought in are really, really cool. I'm just thinking of like the Yoshi circuit. They redid everything, but the coolest level I think is the F-Zero Mute City in the Hyrule circuit, the Zelda themed one, because they're taking from other games, and I like Hyrule Circuit because you got rupees for coins, that you have all this, Zelda paraphernalia through the whole level, and it just kind of is cool to take, Mario Kart to Nintendo level, like take it to the next level, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Zelda paraphernalia, eh? Like a Zelda bong.
Paraphernalia doesn't always mean illegal.
Okay. So tell me, what was your favorite, maybe your favorite two levels from the first batch of DLC and your least two favorite levels?
My favorite for the first two would probably have to be Mute City, and it's a toss-up between Hyrule Circuit and Dragon Driftway. My least favorite for sure, though, is the Ice Outpost, the one where the yellow and the green pathways are the whole level. I hate that level.
You hate it?
Yeah, it's my least favorite one. I'm terrible at it, and I find it unaesthetic, and I don't find it very interesting.
Okay, well, I mean, for me, my least favorite is definitely Rainbow Road.
That one's difficult, but I like it.
I mean, I just feel like it's the third Rainbow Road in the game.
Yeah.
Did we need it? I mean, I like all the levels, but it just didn't strike me.
Okay, I can understand that one.
Also, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Wario's Gold Mine.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't like that game in the Wii version either, so that one's meh to me, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least they took out the half pipes from the Wii version.
Yeah, I hated that too, yeah.
But my favorite is by far Mute City, and I love Yoshi Circuit. I think it's got a lot of great turns.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I don't know if you know this, but you're actually riding around the outline of a Yoshi.
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay, yeah, but I like Ice Outpost because
sorry, you go.
I find it to be one of the most difficult levels in the game.
See, I disagree. I find the level, literally there's three colors. You got yellow, green, and then ice everywhere. It's not that difficult. You can't really fall off too many places, and it's just bland. I would say Yoshi's Circuit is probably the hardest level.
Well, I'm just a master of Yoshi's Circuit, so that's a bit different for me. But I find Ice Outpost, there's not a lot of weapons they give out, so it's a lot focused in on the racing. And you might say it's not challenging, but those shortcuts in that level are tough, and I can't even hit every one.
I agree. I don't even go for those. There's three of them, and I don't go for a single one. They're brutal.
Yeah. But I mean, at the very least, the first batch of DLC was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was worth the $7 or whatever. I mean, I feel like you sound like you feel the same.
Oh, totally. It was totally worth it.
Okay, now let's talk about the new batch that just came out today, the ones that our listeners are watching right now. Okay. How do you feel? Do you want to go through each level and talk about each one, or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever you want to do, I'm good with whatever.
All right, I've got a little list here. Let's start off with the 3DS Neo Bowser City.
Okay, so I don't even remember this level from the 3DS version. I wasn't a big Mario Kart 7 fan. It didn't really click with me. So I don't
Okay.
remember this level. So to me, it feels like a totally new level, and I'm a big fan of it. It's definitely a tough level. Some of the turns are crazy, especially the new 200cc, which I'm sure we'll get to. But
Yep.
yeah, the Neo Bowser City, it's great. It's awesome. I mean, it's not my favorite of the eight, but it's definitely an enjoyable new circuit.
Absolutely. I mean, I loved Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS, and to be honest, I didn't even really like Neo City on the 3DS, but I feel like I have a new appreciation for it now. I love seeing all the futuristic cars flying around. I love the rain on the course. There's a little mean tidbit in there. I don't know if you noticed. They have Dry Bones is cheering many Dry Bones are cheering you on from the sidelines. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that. No.
I thought that was just mean because when they announced, Dry Bones Bowser, or Dry Bowser, or whatever you call it, I feel like a lot of fans came back and said, "Well, where's Dry Bones?"
Yeah.
Um, so it's a little bit,
Slap
just
in the face. Yeah.
salt on the wound. But do you feel like the water on the
Yeah.
track makes there's less traction on the track, or am I just?
That's that's what I felt too. I felt on some of the that big there's a one big U-turn, and I feel like every time, no matter what CC I'm going, I'm sliding near that edge and the back edge. So I definitely. Another thing I want to say is that the HD, like, because this is Nintendo's first HD system, with all the
Yep.
the neon lights in this level, it looks so good.
It looks great. Yeah, 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
There's one new shortcut in this. So I actually don't know if it was in the 3DS version, but there's if you know how you go off the jump right before the finish line.
Yeah.
If you fly to the left, like in between these kind of posts, there's a fan blowing you up, so you can actually just keep flying, gliding, hit this upwards fan, and get back on the course.
Is that what you were trying to do that one time when you fell off?
That's the one time I fell off and lost was because
Okay,
of that.
yeah.
Was because of
I
that.
didn't know what you were doing there, but
But it's a
okay.
nifty one. Okay, let's move on to the next one here on the list. The Game Boy Advance Ribbon Road, which is one of my personal favorites out of the new levels. I think it's great.
Me too. Totally. Again, this level probably looks the best. It's vibrant, colorful, interesting. There's a lot of things going on. And again, I don't remember the Game Boy Advance version of this level, so this feels like a whole new level to me too. It's probably my favorite. I think I'm the best on this level out of all eight. So yeah, I'm all for this one.
Did you play Super Mario Super or Mario Kart Super Circuit?
I did. I think I own every Mario Kart game, but I don't remember playing that level or the Game Boy Advance levels at all.
I mean, it's funny because I actually went. I liked Super Circuit, but I don't remember because I was so young. So I actually went back and watched some gameplay videos of Ribbon Road and Cheeseland, and they are so incredibly flat that they almost don't resemble each other.
Okay, yeah.
The turns and everything are there, but there's so much vertical dynamics to the remakes that it's almost a brand new level. It might as well be a brand new level,
Yeah, I agree.
which is one of the reasons why I actually think this new pack of DLC courses is way better than the first because you don't have Rainbow Road and
Yeah.
Excite Bike, Arena, and the more simple courses.
Or even Goldmine, which is it's from the most recent version, most recent Mario Kart.
Yeah, yeah. Question for you: did you ever play Toy Commander on Dreamcast?
Toy Commander?
Yeah.
No, never even heard of it.
Because every time I play Ribbon Road, I get this, nostalgia kick of this game called Toy Commander, where, it's kind of like a mission-based, slightly not open world, but you could fly around this room as a toy and do these missions as a toy and kind of like, it's like a Toy Story style game.
Okay.
It was really cool, and this level just kind of reminds me of it. And there's lots of little, toys in the room that kind of resemble, Nintendo. Like there's the carts you can see the Yoshi toys. There's a lot of things in this room that almost resembles like a child who's a fan of Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned one of the Toy Story at least because I remember I think it's for the Super Nintendo, the Toy Story game. There's a level where you're driving the car, and that actually reminds me of this level. Remember Ribbon Road? Reminds me of
Yes.
the little segment of just like a short level in Toy Story for the
This,
SNES.
yeah, I remember that level. It was tough.
Yeah,
Where you had to
totally.
control RC and he ran out of batteries. I remember that distinctly.
Yeah, that's exactly
Hate,
what I'm. Yeah.
hate that level.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Super Bell Subway. Now, what are your thoughts on this brand new level?
I like it. I feel like the whole. I mean, it's not my favorite, and I think it's kind of tough. And I mean, it's not so much turning left and right as it is kind of dodging obstacles. And I feel like the whole car train thing has been overdone. Not overdone, but I guess this is probably the third or fourth level in this game that has it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool, but I just feel like it's kind of the same idea, just with a new skin on it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like a mix of what's the other one with Toad's? Trying to look
Toad's
at
Turn,
Toad Harbor with the
okay,
trolley cars
and
and
Toad's
the
Turnpike.
yeah, and the indoor segments from the airport level.
Okay, yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So it kind of doesn't necessarily have a distinct look about it. That's it's not like Ribbon Road or Big Blue or something that looks totally distinct. But I do like the level. I feel like it's tough. It's challenging.
yeah. I feel like there's a lot to that level that I haven't even checked out because I saw one time you can go up to higher level and go on the train
Oh yeah, I
and
was
on the
doing that
subway
like
to the speed
crazy.
boost. I didn't even realize you could do that. So
Oh,
there's a lot to this level.
I was doing that like crazy.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, next level here, Big Blue.
Okay, so this is the second F-Zero
Thoughts?
level they've had in the DLC. The first one being Mute City, and I'm a big F-Zero fan. I remember Big Blue. The soundtrack is perfect for this level. It's orchestrated. It sounds brilliant. The whole level is great.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of the three segment levels, which this one is. It's not three laps. It's a longer level where it's just broken up into three segments, which I like, but I just wish it was kind of repeated. Got to get used to it, but I really like this level.
I don't know. I don't mind the three segments broke the level broken into three segments. It kind of changes the feel of it, and it actually the biggest thing it does for me is it changes what how you use bananas because you kind of know they're not gonna come around the second lap. So if
Mm,
no one hits your banana, then you
it's
know.
wasted. Yeah, that's a good point.
But I love this level. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah,
It's
it's gorgeous and it's tough.
it totally brings me back to F Zero, and I love it. I love both the F Zero levels. Now, before we get into Crossing Cup, because that wraps up the Bell Cup, there's two F Zero levels in this game. As far as crossovers goes, there's one Animal Crossing, debatably one and a half or two Animal Crossing levels. There's one Excite Bike level, but there's two F Zero levels split across two different GPs. Now, what's your take on that?
I mean, I know what you mean. It's kind of why are they giving us F-Zero levels, especially since one cup is a Triforce Cup, it has a Zelda level. One cup is the Crossing Cup, it has an Animal Crossing level. Yeah, there is no F-Zero Cup, and here we have more levels for F-Zero than any other of the four DLC cups. So it kind of makes
Yeah.
me question either Nintendo's trying to say, hey, do you guys like these F-Zero levels? Here's we're working on F-Zero, or they're saying you're not gonna get an F-Zero.
Yeah.
This is the best you're gonna get.
It's one of two extremes.
Yeah.
It's either, hey, yeah, we're not making an F Zero, so here's a little gimme for the fans,
Yeah.
or it's, hey, people who have never played F Zero, this is what F Zero is, and it's coming later this year. Uh, get ready for it.
Yeah, I think if we do hear any F-Zero, it's gonna be at E3, or else, I mean, I would say the dream's dead.
Well, for me, I don't really think they're going to make an F Zero. I mean, we're getting on a side note here, but I really don't think they're going to develop a brand new F Zero for the Wii U. I think it's a waste of resources.
Yeah,
I think, if anything, and I think many fans would be happy with this, is an HD remaster of F Zero GX.
yeah. I mean, we mentioned this before, and I just kind of my opinion is that F-Zero GX, like you said, it didn't sell that well. It was definitely a loved game by all the fans,
Yeah.
but it didn't sell well. So I don't really know if that justifies Nintendo making this game on an already not well selling system in hopes that it does even okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, I think fans are clamoring for it, and we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's move on to Crossing Cup here. We've got starting us off, Baby Park.
Okay.
And I know when they first announced it, you kind of said, well, that's my least favorite.
Yeah, which is surprising because I'm gonna do a 180 right here, and it's a level I love now. When I first played on the GameCube, I didn't really click with me. To me, it's just seven laps in a circle.
Yep.
But for some reason this time, I realized the brilliance that when you start lapping people, you're now in, let's say, first or second, and you're now getting hit by red shells, stars, blue shells, bullet bills are hitting you all the time. So no matter where you are in the course, first to 12th, you're getting hit by the other people's items throughout the whole level, which is the most unique thing because you're never safe by being really far ahead because you're also totally in the fray still, which I think is
Yeah.
awesome.
So one thing I wasn't able to tell from this was that if you're in first, let's say, and you lap, let's say you get in front of the last place person in 12th,
Yeah,
and they fire a red shell, is it going to go for you in first, or is it going to go for 11th place?
it's gonna go for you if it's gonna go for you.
Okay.
Yeah, which I
Yeah,
think is great.
it's absolute chaos. It's one of those levels where even in first, you never feel safe, and you can go from first to seventh in the matter of half a lap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you can always come back. And just about your red shell thing, I'm curious as whether, let's say, an 11th person fires a blue shell right in front. Would it go? Would it have to go around the entire track once, or would it go straight to the first person?
I would think I don't know. I guess we'd have to test that, but I think it would go around the whole lap once.
Okay, yeah,
There's a mode in Mario Kart 8 that you can set to frantic weapons, which is only red shells, lightnings, blue shells, like the crazier weapons. That would be absolutely insane on
yeah,
Baby Park. But
yeah,
I love Baby Park. Lots of good memories with it on the GameCube. I really like
yeah.
it. It's crazy. It's
I know.
wild. Love the new background in it.
Yeah, another cool thing is that every lap you complete, the music gets faster and the music
Yep.
gets higher pitched.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
And you know what I noticed is that it's almost like Baby Park is. You remember? Do you remember on Super Mario Sunshine the one? It was like an amusement park. One of the worlds was an amusement park. I don't have the name of it offhand.
Yeah,
Do
I
you,
do. I do remember that. I didn't play that game, but I distinctly remember that level where you shoot. You're on a roller coaster and you shoot the water to spray stuff. I remember every. Yeah,
you didn't play Super Mario Sunshine?
I didn't have a GameCube. I watched you play that entire game.
Okay, okay. Well, I almost feel like they've placed Baby Park right in the middle of that,
Okay.
which is cool. I mean, I kind of feel like they've taken all these levels in Mario Kart 8 and given it some sort of continuity, like a Mushroom Kingdom continuity where you really feel like these are real worlds that are interconnected.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Let's move on. Game Boy Advance Cheese Land.
Okay. Do you want to go or?
Sure. Now, interesting, when they announced these levels, I was talking to a friend. His name's Cornelius. True story. And he said he was disappointed in Cheeseland because on the Game Boy Advance, it had more of an interplanetary, space theme, as if you were on a different planet. You could see stars, you could see moons in the background, where now it's more grounded on Earth. I just thought that was an interesting point. I don't really have much else to say about that. I don't I think it's a minor complaint. But I really like this course. I find it challenging. I find those cheese hole divots in the level really tough. They can really screw up your power slide.
See, I was gonna disagree. Those are great. You power slide into them, and then you can get the jump trick boost off each one, which I do all the time.
Okay, interesting. I mean, it's a cool level, and they put a chain chomp in it, which looks beautiful.
Oh, what?
The chain chomp.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like those.
Yeah, and is there another chain chomp in am I having a brain fart here? Is there another chain chomp in Mario Kart 8, or is this
Yeah,
the only
no,
one?
there is. It's in. Let me just think about it here.
Is it Mario Circuit?
I think it is Mario Circuit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. But yeah, I really like Cheeseland. I think it's cool. It's got a lot. It's challenging. It's almost like like Neo City and Big Blue and Super Bell Subway. It feels like it's made for the more hardcore Mario Kart players. The little more challenging. It's more demanding of your skills.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I personally, I mean, I like this level, but I don't. I'm not a big fan. Again, the colors, it's boring. You have sand levels which are pretty much identical to this kind of level.
Well, it's cheese. It's yellow cheese.
I get that. I'm not. I understand the reference of the name. To me it's just not. There's nothing captivating for the eye. It's I mean, it's okay. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's move on to Wildwoods.
Okay.
Do you think this is a reference to Animal Crossing, or probably not?
I'm thinking more this is a reference to either Yoshi's Island or to Yoshi's Story because you're in the deep woods. There's shy guys everywhere, so there's kind of a shy guy level, and you have those shy guys with spears. You have all this kind of grass foliage going on, and something that I find really cool about this level. I don't know if you noticed this, but when you're starting the level, you look far to the left, you see toads, and the weird thing is that they look almost horizontal
Well,
to.
you start off like like a straight incline.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You actually start going straight up, which is I think the only level that actually starts that kind of way, and it's so cool because I never really expected to see, to see those toads going that way.
It is kind of strange. I actually did notice that. So I guess if someone got off their cart, they just straight fall to their death.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I Wildwoods to me is kind of like a version of Shy Guy Falls, where you're going straight up and you kind of go straight back down like an incline and a decline, and it's almost like it's in the same world because you get kind of the working Shy Guys in there as well. I actually find Wild Woods, as beautiful as it is, graphically amazing. I find it to be one of not one of my favorite levels from the new DLC.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
just don't find it very exciting.
See, I'm the opposite. I love Wildwoods, and I would
Okay.
say I find it, even though it's not aesthetically the same, I find it driving the same, very similar to the other DLC, the Dragon Driftway, where you kind of have this more open track, and it's a lot of just kind of nice turns. And to me, it feels a lot more skill than it is kind of these weird gimmicky things going on.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, they're all good levels here. I'm
Oh
just.
yeah, I agree.
Let's go to the last one here, Animal Crossing. Now, I've never really been a big fan of Animal Crossing. It's not really my style of game.
Yeah, me neither.
But I feel like if you like Animal Crossing, there's no way you cannot love this level.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I don't really know many Animal Crossing references, but it seems like there's a lot. You have a little money bag to count your coins. The coolest thing to me is the changing seasons,
Yeah,
and I've only seen two of the seasons out of four. But the level, even though it's the same track, the level does change drastically enough to make a noticeable difference.
it plays differently. I mean, I noticed that there weren't jumps during the fall season, and there was
Yeah,
like piles of leaves with hidden fruit within it.
yeah, and during the summer one, the fruit would drop from trees, which gave you it was a mushroom speed boost.
Well, I believe the fruit was in the fall one as well. I still haven't tried the winter. But yeah, I actually didn't expect that once. I'm like, oh, what does this fruit do? And I hit it, and it went woof right off the course.
Yeah, me too.
But there's a lot of references in this level. I saw KK Slider playing his guitar by the beach.
And the mole that talks all the time.
Yeah, I mean everyone in Animal Crossing talks all the time. It's basically
Yeah,
what they get. It's a chore talking game.
yeah.
People love it though. I'm not going to knock it. Okay, so I mean, overall, I think this new DLC is amazing. I love it. For $7, you really can't go wrong. How do you feel about the three new characters?
I never really got to test them out. I mean, I'm a Luigi guy the whole way. Played him since day one.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I'm not a big fan of throwing dry Bowser in because I think it's kind of again it's just throwing a skin on a new character.
yeah.
And I like the Animal Crossing character. Why not? And who's the third?
Well, there's two Animal Crossing characters, but I think with the villager, you can choose male and female,
And then there's
and then
also
there's
Peach, right?
Isabella
Oh, Isabella.
or Isabel, one of those.
Okay, but one thing I do like about this, besides those three costumes, is they added the me costumes for all the amiibo.
Yeah.
So there's so many you can play. I mean, not officially, but you can play as Kirby, you can play as Mega Man, you can
Well,
play as.
Kirby was in the. They added more amiibo costumes. They
Oh,
had some in the first batch.
okay, okay, but yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So I mean, overall, would you say you prefer the first batch of DLC or the second batch?
oh, the second for sure. Way better levels.
Yeah, I agree. Way better levels. I mean, it almost makes me just want to play right away.
Yeah, and
Uh,
we haven't even touched on the 200cc, which is
no, that's a whole
yeah,
nother. We'll talk about that another time because
yeah.
that's something I want to really dig my heels into before talking about.
Okay.
This is more of a first impressions. Now, quickly here. Now, tell me what are your two favorite and two least favorite from the new DLC for courses?
Two favorite would be Ribbon Road and probably Wildwoods or Big Blue, and my two least favorite would be Cheeseland and Subway.
Wow. Okay, we're pretty close. My two favorite are definitely Big Blue and Ribbon Road, and I'd have to say my least favorite are probably Wildwoods and Super Bell Subway as well.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I love Wildwood. I think it's a great level.
I mean, I think it's a good level. And it's beautiful. It doesn't have all the crazy turns as the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that wraps up our chat about the new Mario Kart DLC. We hope you enjoyed watching some of the footage we captured today. And let us know what you think about these levels. Signing out.
Yeah.